Once upon a time, in the village of Abecheku in Enugu State, Nigeria, there lived a princess named Ada. She was a kind and generous princess, but she was also very fat. Because of her weight and size, she was often teased by the other children in the kingdom. One day, the king announced that he would put a competition to choose a good bride for his son. The Princess Ada, wanted to enter the competition, but she knew she was not considered beautiful by the people of the kingdom. Despite the obstacles, Princess Ada decided to participate in the competition. She spent weeks practicing the skills required for the competition, like cooking, weaving, and dancing. When the day of the competition arrived, Princess Ada was nervous but determined to do her best. The first part of the competition was the cooking challenge. Princess Ada worked hard to prepare the most delicious dish she could. To her surprise, her dish won first place, but the other princesses were jealous of her success and started to scheme against her. For the next part of the competition, the princesses had to compete in a weaving challenge. Princess Ada was not as skilled at weaving as the other princesses, and she knew she would have to work hard to do well. But as she was working, one of the other princesses came over and accidentally knocked over her loom. Princess Ada had worked but ruined, and she was devastated. The other princesses started to laugh at her, but the prince saw what had happened. He was furious and asked the other princesses to leave the room. When the other princesses were gone, the prince turned to Princess Ada. "I know you have been treated unfairly," he said, "but I wanted you to know that I admire your courage and determination. You are a true princess, and I would be honored to have you as my bride." Princess Ada was shocked by the prince's words. She had never thought that he would see her for who she truly was. She was blushed and accepted his proposal. From that day onward, Princess Ada was treated with the respect she deserved. She and Prince Chukwudi lived happily ever after. But there was one more twist to the story. As Princess Ada and Prince Chukwudi were preparing for their wedding, a terrible storm swept through the kingdom. The royal palace was damaged and the wedding was postponed. Princess Ada was heartbroken, but she knew that the storm was just a small obstacle compared to what she had already overcome. As the kingdom began to rebuild, Princess Ada and Prince Chukwudi worked side by side, helping their people in the end. In the end, their love for each other and for their kingdom grew even stronger. Few months later, Princess Ada was pregnant with the prince's child. But then a rumor began to spread through the kingdom. The child was not the prince. But the result of a secret affair, the people began to whisper behind Princess Ada's back. The child might not belong to the prince. It might belong to another man. Who knows? This princess is very evil, they said at Princess Ada's back again. And she felt her heart break once again, but the prince refused to listen to the rumors he had. He stood by Princess Ada's side, and together they waited for the birth of their child. When the baby was born, the prince took one look at his newborn daughter and knew the truth. The baby had his eyes, his smile, and his laugh. And so the rumors were put to rest, and the people of the kingdom began to see Princess Ada for who she truly was. A kind, generous, and courageous woman. She and the prince raised their daughters together, teaching her the value of honesty, compassion, and perseverance. And they all lived happily ever after. But this is not the end of the story of Princess Ada and her daughter. Princess Ada's daughter grew up just to be as brave and kind as her mother. And her daughter's daughter and her daughter's daughters after that, a chain of strong, courageous women, all descended from Princess Ada, who never gave up on her. The chain of women continued, each one passing down the lesson of courage and kindness to her daughters. Generation passed and the world changed around them. There were wars and plagues and famines. Through it all, the line of women descended from Princess Ada continued, leading by example and inspiring others with their strength and determination. And though the names and faces changed over the years, the spirit of Princess Ada lived on in each of them. To this day, the legacy of Princess Ada continues as a reminder that true beauty is found in the heart, not in appearance.